a slave to language, or its master. In my view, a human being is a prisoner of their own vocabulary. I mean that a person is confined by their linguistic capacity, particularly in relation to their most fundamental form of communication, the dialogue they hold with themselves during moments of solitude. It is in these moments that one reviews their behavior, accurately describes their inner state, diagnoses their condition, and attempts to formulate plans for reform, growth, and genuine progress. All of this depends on a person's ability to communicate with themselves before communicating with others. And all of it is contingent upon possessing a strong command of one's mother tongue. In my small room in my first homeland, the space was narrow, yet it held two worlds. On the shelves, my books stood in two languages. One spoke in the voice of the life I had heard since I was in the womb. The other spoke in the language of the life I began to live when I started studying English literature. Reading has become a deeply rooted habit in my daily life. I wanted to read about everything, and I enjoyed every book I read. I did not read quickly. Sometimes I would read a page more than once. I wanted to live what I read, to feel it, and to analyze it. And now I am in the process of writing my first novel, after writing several short stories. I've often been asked, why do you read? I tried to formulate a standard answer based on a personal agreement with myself, an agreement that would be convincing even to me. Once I shaped that answer, I became able to give a response that satisfied me before it satisfied others. My answer was as follows. A person is the enemy of what they do not understand. Reading equips you with the linguistic capacity to achieve precise, well-articulated self-awareness. It also helps you analyze your surroundings, reducing the number of unknowns in the equation of life and guiding you toward reconciliation with it. As a result, your judgments become multidimensional. Consequently, and inevitably, your acceptance of others and of life itself increases. At the same time, your self-awareness deepens through this reciprocal interaction. The Canadian writer Margaret Atwood once said, "War is what happens when language fails." As for me, this principle applies not only to international relations, but also the human relationships and even to the relationship between an individual and themselves. I invoke this quotation to emphasize the necessity of expanding one's linguistic knowledge in the mother tongue. I'm not speaking about learning a second language here, but about deepening one's mastery of the first. When our vocabulary is limited, we become incapable of defining and analyzing what we experience. As a result, we resort to alternative means of communication or expression, sometimes even to the language of violence or other nonverbal forms. Accordingly, I believe that anyone with a shallow mental lexicon will struggle to sit alone with themselves in meaningful reflection, evaluation, and growth. Too often, we assign labels to situations in ways that either exaggerate or diminish them, leading to a failure in understanding what is truly happening, and consequently, a failure in addressing them. The root cause of this lies in linguistic limitation. And to reiterate, I mean here the mother tongue, not a second language. During the preparatory stage of my master's degree in public administration, and while proposing potential research topics, I discussed with my academic supervisor a project that integrates my academic specializations, which are a bachelor's degree in English literature and a professional master's degree in public administration. I proposed conducting a study centered on the following primary question. Are bilingual managers more effective in management? Naturally, there are many variables that would need to be examined. It would also be essential to have access to a research sample with a high level of proficiency in both the mother tongue and the second language in order to achieve meaningful results. I was eager to pursue this research to highlight the importance of the mother tongue and the necessity of developing and strengthening it properly. Alongside this, I wanted to emphasize the importance of acquiring and mastering a second language, given its benefits for the nervous system and the brain. Undoubtedly, such research would have been both demanding and deeply fulfilling, as it would require me to immerse myself in the fields I am most passionate about. Unfortunately, due to several factors, I had to change my research proposal. However, I was very pleased when my supervisor approved the new topic, which focused on small and medium enterprises and the importance of business incubators. In conclusion, when an individual masters the ability to communicate with their inner self, to analyze its impulses, and to realign its course, they become capable of building meaningful bridges of communication with the world around them. This cannot be achieved without possessing a sound and continually developing command of language, their mother tongue. Thanks for watching.